Hey, Miss Lee, here is your astrological reading for what's going to be changing for you in 2023. And yes, you are getting some of the pre-solstice face paint on your video here. So I have your charts pulled up, and I am not going to flip the camera on and show them because I don't want to show any of your personal information. But what I'm going to look at is your birth chart and see where your placements are. You have a whole bunch of amazing triangular aspects between your sun, who you are, and your emotions, your moon. You have a lot of placements in your 4th house and in your 12th house. So your 4th house is the divine feminine. It's family, it's focus, it's your foundation, it's where you feel at home. Your 12th house, however, that is moving forward. It is ending, it is spirituality. It's also your intuition and a little bit more. Your moon, when you were born, now I'm talking about when you were born, was in Aquarius. So this is kind of a deep thinking, brooding, but creative and kind of can change on a whim type of placement. So let's look at today, because those are the main things that matter right now when you were born. Let's look at today. So today you now have 4 water placements. You have 3 placements in Scorpio, including your sun, your Saturn, and your Mercury. So your karma and your communication, plus the way you feel, are all centered around your home, your divine feminine, your foundations, and how you feel about yourself when you're in your comfort zone. Now, your moon has shifted over to Cancer. It is now also in your 12th house, meaning a lot of your emotions right now are solidly based on endings. They're based on your spirituality. They're based on moving forward. They're also based on an interesting aspect as far as this water goes. Your intuition is through the roof. And so I would bet the way that this looks, you don't have as many triangular placements. There's only a few right now. None of them with your moon connect with your sun. And none of them connect with your communication. It's kind of a big split. So I would bet that this huge issue is that you can't communicate your spiritual self, the new path you're on, with your foundational self. So family, friends, home, you're having this huge split. I would bet you also are feeling just a little crazy because with your moon in Cancer in the 12th house, with everything going on right now with the solstice, with Capricorn season coming in, with the new moon, with all of the things, and with all the changes in the world spiritually, I would bet that you're having a really big issue communicating those things. You don't know how to words them out, yet your intuition is on point. So let's look at what happens when we fast forward this a year to 2023. Ready? All right. So when we fast forward this a year, you still have 3 of those placements in Scorpio, and you still have your moon in Cancer, but it's almost out of that 12th house. So let me take a look at some of the infographics here, because you got a lot of interesting lines pop up. A lot of things are finally back in conjunction, square with each other, such as you have 2 lines from your moon to your sun and your moon to your Mercury, which is your communication, telling me, and both of those are square, telling me that both of those things finally come together where you figure out how you can words all of these emotions, the spiritual aspect, these endings, and so on, with who you are, with where you're going, with your foundation, your family, your roots. It also tells me that karmically and wisdom-wise, you're on point. So let's look at a couple of other things, because you got a lot of water going on in there. So when I look at your qualities, which is your cardinal, your fixed, and your mutable, I got a weird accent there, sorry. You only have about 26% of your chart in cardinal signs at the end of this year. In 2023, a year from today. That means that you don't have this massive push forward like you do right now. You have 30% of your chart in your fixed aspect, which is where you're wanting to follow through. It's your productivity. The biggest part of your chart a year from today is 40%, and that's in mutable signs. So those are change. They're capable of moving about easy. It's also ending, meaning that there's going to be a lot of things in 2023 that you finally are able to let go of, that come to a head and are done, gone, by. Now, let's talk about your elements, because as I mentioned, you have a lot of water going on right now. So it's not as bad as I thought, and actually you have more fire than you do water. So you have 33% of your chart is in fire elements, which is enthusiasm and drive. It can be moving forward, but with your cardinal signs being so small, I would bet that the fire in a year is more enthusiasm as far as your new path has gone. Now, you have 26% in water and in air. This is not only your emotions and your intuition, but it's being able to logically process things and pull those ideas and information together so you can communicate them properly. Now, here's the problem, because all of those things are great. However, your earth is only 13%. It is the smallest aspect of your chart. So you are going to have to make sure that you do not get too far out there. You're going to have to find something to make sure you balance yourself back down, ground yourself back down. The good thing that I'm seeing here is that there is so much that starts to become subconscious for you, such as your spirituality, your communication, your masculine, your feminine. Oh my God, everything, the way you look at the world. The only thing that shifts for in the next year, wait a minute, the only thing that doesn't shift in the next year, words, is your moon. That stays in your southern hemisphere. Your southern hemisphere is your conscious and objective view of the world. Everything else goes into the subconscious in the northern hemisphere. That to me is fantastic because it tells me that you're able to put yourself, your emotions, and your aspects of you that you need to move forward to the forefront. Everything else becomes automated and in the background and just going forward like it's supposed to be. So here's the best thing about all of this. I love that everything is finally squared where it's supposed to be. The main thing that you're going to see as far as a change goes in 2023 for you is going to be you being able to voice your spirituality, to voice your opinions, to voice your emotions, and to end a lot of the things that have been holding you back up to now. 2023 is going to be a massively empowering year for you, Miss Lee, and I can't wait to see the person that you come out on the other end. Happy New Year.